Thank you, Steve. Thank you for your great introduction. And you pronounced my name quite well. So I hope everybody can see my screen. Yeah, I will use my time today to introduce the Freerider to you. The Freerider is a new product and it is a rubber-tired crane, but you can already see on the picture that it is a totally different system when you compare it with existing RTG concepts. When we started the development of the Freerider, we were looking into the container industry market, where we already delivered since where we are delivering since decades intermodal cranes, big RMG cranes, barge cranes, and automated stacking cranes. And we were checking how can we make our portfolio a little bit bigger. And then we were also talking to the industry, to our existing clients. Everybody, of course, was asking for more safety. As usual, the standard is already high, but we can make it better and better. The next years, of course, everybody is asking for higher productivity. He wants to use less equipment to do the same jobs, because this will at the end also reduce the OPEX. Also the degree of automation, the higher it is, the less your OPEX will be at the end. And of course, when you use automated crane, you will have less manual interventions. At the end, we were looking into a machine which can operate in a container block. We built a lot of automated stacking cranes over the last 20 years, but we were also checking straddle carriers, reach stackers, RTGs, so all the equipment you normally use to operate a container block in the yard. At the end, we found out that there is, when you are looking to an automated crane, that the automated stacking crane is a perfectly built machine for automated process. You have covered a lot of safety packages already in these fully automated blocks. You are allowed to go into this load, and of course, which is also a big benefit and the cost saving, you have the independent housekeeping already included. No? And the automation there is so perfect because you have an overall stiff crane. When you look then to the RTG, it's a little bit a different setup. They have the side loading concept, the whole crane system, gantry structure plus hoist is not so stable, I would say, and not perfectly built for automation. But at the end, the RTG still has the big benefit that the machine is flexible and you can change blocks at every time you want. So at the end, we decided to combine both advantages of both machines, both machine concepts, to develop the Freerider, which is at the end an automated stacking crane, or call it an automated RMG on rubber tires. In the video, you can see here now, this is where we delivered the first 4 Freeriders for a customer in the Netherlands. It's an island called Flushing. In the west of the Netherlands. As you can see here, it's a reefer container, 2 reefer container blocks where 80% of all containers are stored between the reefer racks. As you already can see here, the changed concept of the crane, because for automation the key is you have a stiff overall gantry structure. We could achieve this with the aerodynamic design of the girder and the posts and the A-shaped posts, which makes the structure very, very stable. But at the end, you would destroy all the stiffness in the gantry structure so you also need a very stiff hoisting system, and so we also developed a new very stiff hoist system. I would say the most stiffest mechanical rope tower you can find on the market. Altogether makes the crane absolutely stiff. You can compare it with an automated stacking crane. And this gives you a lot of advantages in automation. As we can see it here, there are no cabins on the cranes. We do all movements in the block and to the truck and from the truck fully automated. There's just one restriction. Because of the side loading, you have always the difficulty in safety. There's the container, there's the crane, but there's also the truck driver, and you have to protect the truck driver. So here we still have a situation close over the truck and on the truck, where the operator has to supervise the last few meters. He is not operating the crane. He's just holding a hold to run button, and the crane is performing the last meters. But he is looking that everybody, that nobody gets hurt. A second quite important point is what we figured out when you want to have a really fast, high performance in operating a block, is that you need the stiff structure, the stiff crane. But the second thing is you need a fast crane to do a good block operation. As you can see here, we increased the hoisting speed by around 50 to 60%. And we also increased the gain to speed without load up to 160 meters per minute at the moment. But the really big change is that we now allow customers to drive with fully loaded, with full containers all the time. So not once per day, you can do it the whole day. So we do this at the moment with 130 to 160 meters per minute. That means when you have a 20-ton container, we would gain through with 145 minutes per meter. What we also could figure out is that we also could reduce the positioning time in manual, but also in the automated process. So you can use the crane still in a manual operation. But because of the stiffness, you have less swing in the whole system, and you can start immediately scanning or hoisting or trolley drive, etc. That saves you again a few seconds per move. When you just compare it with manual cranes, then you can see that we have that the productivity of a crane is around 20% higher to the existing systems. That means at the end, when you need 10 machines to do the job, you can do it with 8 Freeriders. So already there you have a saving in OPEX over the next few years, because you have less cranes to maintain and less cranes to operate. As I already told you before, in the side loading concept, you still have the issue with safety in the last few meters over the truck, or the loading and unloading of the truck. And since 20 years, there is already a system where this safety issue is closed. We know from a lot of terminals in the world, they are using automated stacking cranes with a full fenced block, including the fenced rails, or in this case, a fenced driving lane for the rubber tired crane. So the block and the gantry drive is safe. Then you just have to, again, the situation with the trucks, but there are proven systems on the market since 20 years. A lot of different systems are used for the transfer zones on both ends, but they are proven and they're safe so that you can do all moves fully automated. As you can see here, the video, this is from Tangier in Tangier. Terminal owner is APMT. As you can see here, we use the same structure also for the automated stacking cranes with the A-shaped posts. This has a lot of advantages in weight, wind, energy consumption, but the stiffness is really high, which is key for automation. When you're now a terminal operator and you want to buy new RTGs, or you want to look into automation, you have a few possibilities. You can buy, again, manual RTGs. You can retrofit your existing ones. You can buy automated stacking cranes and implement them, or you could use the automated Freerider to use all the advantages an automated machine can give to you, because with the automated machine, when everything is fenced, you can do absolutely the whole housekeeping with it. And with the Freerider, you have the additional benefit that you can, in a normal automated block, you always need 2 cranes, 2 ASCs. But with the Freerider, you're still allowed to use the benefit to change the block constantly. There are also already proven systems on the market with automated gates, etc. So this is solved and can be easily handled. I just want to, I think I have to speed up a little bit. We are now in discussions with 2 customers. They have already a manual operated RTG terminal and want to increase the degree of automation finally. But there's always the problem when you move to automated stacking cranes, then you have always to close the whole terminal because you have to do a lot of civil work. With the Freerider, you can reuse the existing driving lanes, so you can reuse the existing infrastructure. So our proposal there is do it step by step and don't interrupt production too much. So close at the moment, at the beginning, 2 blocks, then fence this block, install the transfer zones, do the electrification when needed, and the data and install data transfer on the network. Then you also already can install the remote stations in the office building, can go on with already trained your operators over a long time in advance without any pressure to go live. Check that all suppliers are ready. So the client is ready with their internal procedures. The TOS is ready for the operation. Künz is ready with the Freerider and the automation. Also the block control is ready. When everybody says we have done all tests, we are safe, then start operation of the first block and run it for a certain time. And then everybody is safe and know, okay, this system works, we can roll it out. Sorry, I'm moving in the wrong direction. And then it depends on you how fast you want to roll it out on the terminal. What we have done a calculation how fast you can convert, for example, those 4 blocks. When you have the right planning, you can convert those 4 blocks in 4 weeks because you just have to do the fencing, the electrification, and the network cabling. Not that difficulty when you have organized it in advance. And you need a certain area here where you erect the cranes and commission them or deliver them via ship. And when the block is finished, then move in the cranes, connect them, because you have already proven the whole concept here. You can start immediately then with operation. And then, as I said, it depends on you how fast you will roll out the whole system. And finally, you will have a fully automated terminal, in this case, end loaded. And yeah, and you can save a lot of OpEx in the future. That was a short overview. There are much more possibilities how you can operate the Freerider in different degrees of automation, also manually, and each one has his benefits. So I have to thank you for your time, and I want to finish my presentation.